Okay, so today we're back with another video with our Black Women and Femininity series. However, this video is a little different because we're talking about Black moms. Ooh, scary. Like, no, it's not scary. Okay, we're going to get the Black moms together in this video respectfully and with love. But it's time for us to address the negative traits that a lot of Black moms have exhibited in their parenting style that has caused for a lot of their adult children to not show up as their best selves, whether it's in their romantic relationships or even in their personal pursuits with their careers and things. So yes, and I'm definitely excited to record this video because I have a whole platform where I focus on the mother-daughter relationship, where I help women, specifically mothers and daughters, overcome generational traits, okay? By developing their mind, by developing their emotional intelligence, and by helping them understand the spiritual aspect that plays into the development of self. Okay, so I'm definitely excited. And if you are one of my followers with that community, hey girl, okay, we're going to talk about some things today and it's going to be very exciting. And yeah, and this is all with love. We have to educate ourselves on the things that just are not working. Okay, so we can correct those crooked places. Some things just aren't working within our community, especially if I'm noticing how a lot of women are having the same issues, whether it's insecurity, whether it's domestic violence relationships, whether it's not feeling confident enough to pursue their career ambition. And a lot of these things are rooted in childhood. It's rooted in the dynamic with their parents. Your first view of love and comfort and security is within the home. It's within that parent and child dynamic. So today, we're going to dive into understanding the Black moms and just highlighting some negative traits that need to be unlearned. Okay? You guys ready for this? Boom, 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 boom. All right. So let's get into it. So I actually have 10 things that I want to talk about today. 10 things. 10 things that we just need to stop it. Okay? We need to stop. Okay? We need to stop. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So number one, negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom so we can raise healthy children. All right. Number one, Black moms sometimes, or a lot of the time, especially if they're single mothers, they have this thing where they have emotional unavailability. And this is all raw. I did my notes on this last night, but I am teaching myself these things by going through my notes. So just bear with me. So a negative trait to unlearn with Black moms is emotional unavailability. And how does this show up in the parent-child relationship? So due to enduring their own hardships, due to Black moms enduring their own hardships, some Black moms may find it difficult to express vulnerable or openly discuss emotions, leading children to feel unsupported. Now, that's deep, y'all. That's deep. And the reason why I say this can be specific to single mothers is because when single mothers take on that responsibility of leading their home, providing for their children, trying to play mother and father, that can bring a sort of disconnection emotionally, due to all the things that they're taking on. Okay, not only are they're supposed to be taking on the nurturing aspect of nurturing their children so their children can develop emotional intelligence, but now they're taking on the role of the man and providing and cooking and cleaning. And girl, that is no easy fit. Okay, it's not even easy when there is a man in the home. Okay, being a woman and bearing children and raising children and cooking and cleaning, like, that's already a lot with a partner by your side. So imagine not having that partnership while raising children, and now you're supposed to show up as a whole woman, giving of yourself, not just through finances and a roof over your head, but through emotional support. And I find within my own experiences how this to be true, where there were moments where, that openness in terms of, well, my mom was pretty honest. I feel like my mom was way too honest with me at one point. So, but I can see how, this could lead to a child feeling unsupported by the mother not being emotionally available. Just completely like shutting that down and just going into robotic mode of wake up, get things done, let's get it done, let's get it done. We have no time to lose, and just not really making that true connection, and just thinking that the connection is the fact that you have a roof over your head. Like, no. So emotional unavailability is definitely a negative trait to unlearn as a Black mom. So yeah, let's go to number 2. So number 2, negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom: excessive toughness, adapting that strong Black woman mentality. Ooh, no, they didn't. Not the strong Black woman mentality, because you got excessive toughness. The pressure to raise strong children in a harsh world might lead to prioritizing discipline over emotional connection. While this does build resilience, it can also discourage children from expressing emotions or seeking help. So this kind of ties into number 1 with emotional unavailability. And yes, like, y'all, this is good. This is good because I feel like I said, especially when it's a single mother, or you have that dynamic where the parents are trying to prove themselves. So say the mother and the father is in the house, but they have had, if they grew up in a certain era where Black people were overlooked, in a very aggressive way, whether it's through segregation or, racism, and especially depending on where you grew up in the country and what era, even if you had 2 parents in a household, I can see how that pressure to raise strong children to endure this harsh world, to endure the white man, because the white man is going to try to stop you. So I'm going to teach you right now that you can't be stopped by overly disciplining you and overly chastising you. Like, that toughness, yes, it might build resilience and your child might go on the road and feel unstoppable, but your child can also become discouraged from expressing how they truly feel or seeking help, because you're always in this place of trying to build this strong armor instead of just allowing them to be a child. So that strong Black woman mentality, like, there's no need for that anymore. Like, you don't have to be the strong Black woman because you feel like society is making you to be that way. Disconnect from what society is telling you about yourself. You cannot seek understanding about who you are as a Black woman through the eyes of white people, through the eyes of the white man. They're not living your experience. You don't have to be the strong Black woman. You can take on that softness, that femininity, and stand in your power with that. You'll find more power in being a feminine woman and being a strong a feminine Black woman than you will being a strong Black woman, where people feel like they can't connect to you because you're always in this place of like, I'm strong and I got to figure it out and you can't tell me nothing because my great grandfather done endured the times. And yes, they have endured the times, guys, but we're not in those times anymore. As much as we want to reflect and remember the things of our past, it is time to inhale the future. I got that from my boyfriend earlier, y'all. Let's inhale the future and exhale the past. We are not in these eras anymore. And yes, it's good to educate yourself to be aware, but let's educate ourselves on how to move forward as a free woman. Let's educate ourselves on how to move forward as a nurturing woman. By design, you are meant to be a nurturer. It is not by design for you to be a strong Black woman who's excessively parenting your child with toughness because you're trying to protect them from the world. as they get older, they're not going to want to feel, they're not going to want to be protected from the world. They're going to want to feel protected from you. So let's take a step back and just assess, how much does this really help my child by being overly excessive with my words and my discipline? Okay, let's think about that. So let's move forward, because I don't want this video to be too long, but I just want to skim through these different traits that show up in Black moms. And we might not dive too deep because this isn't a workshop. Okay, if you want a workshop and you're in the South region of the United States of America, if you're in the Metro Atlanta area, your girl can give you a workshop. But this is a YouTube video, so we're just reflecting and we're addressing. Okay, this isn't teach time. Okay, this is just listen to understand time. Okay, so number 3, negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom: the authoritarian parenting style. Ooh, let's get into it, y'all. The authoritarian parenting style. The Black mom want to be in control so much. As Black people, we've been in physical bondage. We were set free. Then they put us in a mental bondage. And all of that has made us to believe, in order to be free, we need our own slaves. Only slaves want to enslave people. Okay? You are not that in control like you think you are. We understand you brought the child into the world and you could take the child out, but at no point did God give you the permission to play God in your child's life. Okay? Because just like God gave you that child, God can take away that child. And now what? So let's tap into authoritarian parenting style. Authoritarian parenting style is rooted in cultural or historical survival mechanisms. What I say? The authoritarian parenting style is rooted in cultural or historical survival mechanisms. Some moms may adapt a strict do as I say, not as I do approach that prioritizes obedience over understanding. This can hinder a child's ability to develop anatomy. Now let's dig into this for a little bit, okay? Let's go on a workshop time, okay? So authoritarian parenting style. Basically, it's a parenting style where it's rooted in, you're going to listen to what I say because I'm going to teach you what it is to survive and handle this harsh world, because our ancestors, they were beat and they were whipped and nobody cared about them. Y'all, how long we going to be parenting from that place? How long we going to be parenting from this place of the white man done beat you down and now you got to give your child a preview of what it is to be beat down by the white man. So 1, you can feel empowered, and 2, so your child can better prepare for the world. No, sir, no ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. That's literally the opposite of preparing your child for the world, okay? And this can hinder a child's ability to develop anatomy. Let's talk. Do you know what anatomy is? Do you? Because I don't feel like we understand, as Black women, we don't understand the importance of allowing individuals to develop anatomy. And what is anatomy? So anatomy is the right or condition of self-government. It's freedom from control or external influence. And the reason why I feel like the authoritarian parenting style is such a big thing in the Black community, because it allows parents to feel like they finally feel like they have some sort of control over someone, because they've never had control over themselves. So finally they're a parent and they have somebody to tell what to do and how to do it, so they can feel empowered and feel in control. Well, really, that just leads your child into a place of not feeling like they have self-control, not feeling like they have the ability to think on their own and to perceive life in their own way. And yes, you might be trying to protect your child from whatever in the world, but really what you're doing is you're setting your child up for failure. You're setting your child up to fear the world, to fear you. Instead of your child feeling connected to you because you're a safe space, your child feels like they need to be careful around you. They feel like they need to tiptoe and make sure they don't say or do certain things because here comes the whip. Like, the whipping of slavery has done more than just brought scars on our ancestors' back. It has truly just disrupted the way we think and perceive life when it comes to control and trying to um just take back something. Like, you don't have to take back anything. That was a moment of time. We're not in that moment anymore. You don't have to be so excessive and so controlling over your child in order to feel empowered or to feel in control. Yes, there is a season where your child needs you, but your child needs your love. Your child needs your nurture. As your child enters into their teen years, as they enter into their 20s, it is now time to embrace the fact that your child is their own individual. They need to be able to think on their own. They need to be able to perceive life on their own. How will they truly survive life if this is your parenting style all the way up until your old age, and now they're 40 something, and when you pass away they don't know how to do life without you because you made it such a point that they can't think on their own without your input? That's not real. Like, all of that is just rooted in fear, trying to control your child excessively, trying to manipulate your child in order to do something that you feel like they need to do because you feel like it's the right thing to do. All of that is rooted in fear. You're fearful that the world's going to take, destroy your child with racism and injustice and all of these things, when you need to be teaching your child morals and principles outside of fear. What are some morals and principles outside of fear? You can find a lot of great morals and principles in the Bible, okay? Like patience, understanding, knowing that love your neighbor as yourself. Like, you don't have to take on this approach where you're trying to save your child from the world. The world is the world. If you equip your child with spiritual understanding that's rooted in the word of God, let's just keep it a bug. This is what my channel is about. I'm not about to play with y'all. If you equip your child with morals that are rooted in the Bible, your child is not going to flee. You don't have to worry. So let's move forward. Number 4. Negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom. Number 4, dismissal of emotions. This is so good. So phrases like "stop crying" or "you'll be fine" can invalidate child's feelings, impacting emotional development. That is so good. Like, all of this is so good. Like, I don't even I don't want to have to go through so much with each point, because y'all, this shows up, and not just in our community, but this shows up specifically in our community because of everything that we've taken on throughout generations that started in slavery. And I just wish, like, I can just magically tap the black community, and we can all wake up and just see how some of the things that we are doing is rooted from a place of bondage. It's rooted in a place of fear. It's not really rooted in love. Like, if you're a soon-to-be mother and you want to know how to raise your child, first understand what love is. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love keeps no record of wrong. Not allowing your child to express how they feel, what is that truly setting them up for? It's setting them up to suppress their emotions. Suppress emotions, that leads to cancer. Like, cancer is an emotional disease. That is a disease that's rooted in emotions that are not processed. Okay? So dismissal of emotions, that's something we can unlearn, especially our young boys. If he falls and he wants to cry, let him cry. If he's 16 years old and he's going through a breakup and he's coming to you, let him cry. There's plenty of women out there, stop that crying. Let him express how he feels. Like, he is human. She is human. Allow your children to express their emotions. This develops emotional intelligence with time. This allows them to understand what they're feeling, so they can know how to navigate their emotions. So the only emotions they're feeling aren't happiness and anger. Y'all always want to wonder why y'all get up in these relationships and then all of a sudden the man is spazzing out on you and he's losing control. Well, that's because he never had the time to properly process his emotions as a child. He only understood two emotions, and that was happiness and anger. Those aren't the only two emotions out there. So allowing your child to express whatever it is, even if it's frustration, even if you sit in your teenager's room and she's like, I'm just so frustrated. Like, why would this happen? Even if it's something that you did as a parent, allow them to express that. Like, they have the right to say what it is they're feeling, all respectfully, of course. Like, of course, as a parent, remind your child, okay, be respectful as you're talking to me. Yes, honor your mother and your father. But on the other side of that, do not provoke your child to wrath. Like, let's move forward. So, number 5, negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom: high expectations without grace. Ooh. The desire for children to excel may unintentionally create pressure and feelings of inadequacy when perfection is unattainable. That's good. Allow your children to be. Allow your children to grow, and to go forth in a way that allows them to grow naturally and not with this pressure of trying to meet your standards so you can look good as a mom. I don't like when y'all be doing that. And I've observed that recently. Like, moms trying to make sure their kids look good for their own image. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere, work on yourself. Stop trying to find validation through outside things like your children. Work on yourself. Build your own confidence. Let's move forward. Okay, so number 6 on negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom. Reliance on corporal punishment. So this can be spanking and physical discipline, though culturally rooted, can foster fear and damage trust. So negative traits to unlearn: reliance on corporal punishment, and this is spanking and physical discipline. And this can foster fear and damage trust. So I know y'all probably like, well, I'm gonna spank my child. Yeah, okay, do what you want to do with your child, because clearly y'all, that's what y'all still want to do. I'm speaking to the moms. I'm speaking to the women out here who want to open up their minds to something more than these parenting types that have caused disconnection throughout the years, and now you can't get along with your mom because she don't want to understand. Because, well, my daddy, that's what my daddy did. Okay, girl, this ain't 1975. This is 2025, okay? We're not giddy up on horses anymore, y'all. Okay? In a minute, we're going to be flying in cars, so we need to adapt. We need to adjust. We need to reconsider the technique, okay? The phone ain't attached to the wall no more. The phone is in your back pocket. So if that is changing, maybe our perspective on things needs to change as well, our parenting styles, okay? And one of those things is understanding beating. I'm going to beat your ass. I hope I don't get, oh Lord, sorry, YouTube. I'm going to beat you. And now your child is stripped down naked and you're beating your child with a belt because the child skipped class and went to McDonald's with her boyfriend. So now you're beating your child to prove what? To prove that the slavery method worked on our ASSs. Like, I get it. If you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Discipline is necessary, but let's be mindful on where we are within our spirit when we're disciplining our child. Like, do we want to be disciplining our child in anger and we're beating them? Like, y'all, take a second and think about it. Like, we don't want to be beating our children. We don't want to be beating them. Like, the trust, the damage that's done after you do that, now go to your room. What are you trying to establish? Are you trying to establish that your child needs to fear you? Because if you are, well done. But why does your child need to fear you? Because you brought your child into the world, you could take your child out? Y'all, we aren't doing any justice when we approach our children in this way. As they get older, it's like, your child should be fearing the Lord. Your child should not be fearing you. Your child should be honoring you with their words and with their actions. But at the same time, children are children. They're going to let's start with them as toddlers. They're going to draw on the wall with the marker because they don't know no better. So yes, if you want to pop them or take away the marker, whatever you feel is necessary to correct that behavior, but you also have to understand they're a child. They don't know no better. Now let's move up to teen years. Your child, she might skip school and go to the party. That's what teenagers do. Their minds aren't all the way developed and they're not calculating the risk. So yes, bringing them home and beating them excessively can help correct that. And now they're so scared to do anything that they don't do nothing. But also disciplining them in a way where removing access from certain things, communicating to them why this is unsafe can also have a greater impact. So now it's like, hey, mom, I would like to go to this party, but what do you think? Instead of them sneaking around. And take all this into consideration. Like, I'm not saying, don't tap your child on the butt. I'm not saying don't pop your child's hand because I know y'all so rooted in that because that's what y'all grandma did, because they mama did, and then they great grandpa was beat, and that's how it all started. I got it. But I'm saying that shouldn't be the only approach when disciplining your child. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. We had number 7. We have 4 more. So negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom. Generational trauma responses. Unsealed trauma can manifest as impatience, harshness, or emotional distance, affecting the mother-child bond. So this is why I started my platform for mothers and daughters, because of my own experience with my mother. All right? Generational trauma. What's an example of generational trauma? Let's go ahead and talk about it because we're already about to be 30 minutes over the time anyway. Y'all love hearing me talk. Y'all love hearing me giving y'all the truth. This is good information, okay? So let's listen. An example of generational trauma can be abuse. Physical, sexual, mental abuse. You watched your mom get abused. You got into a relationship and was abused. Now you have a daughter and her boyfriend just abused her. There you go. Generational trauma. Let's start with the grandmother. The grandmother got abused by her husband, her boyfriend, whoever. And she stayed. She stayed. Because back then, women didn't want to do it all. Women wanted a man to be up in the house to help them take care of some things. Okay, so back then it was like, if you ain't had no man, you didn't understand, and you was like, girl, I don't understand. And then that's when the daughters from the grandmother was like, I don't need no man. So now present day, here we are. And we like, I think I do want a man, but I want a nice man. Okay, so let's go back to grandma. So grandma, she got slapped around. She got talked to any type of way. She was called a B word, but she stayed. And the daughter seen it. The daughter was like, okay, whoa. So now the daughter's thinking, well, I guess it's okay. The daughter knows it's not okay, but subconsciously it was okay because correction was not made. It wasn't corrected. The mother didn't leave the man that beat her. She probably didn't sit down with her child and communicate with her and apologize for what she saw and all the things. She probably just let it go up under the rug, and now all the way to the granddaughter 3 generations later, she's being slapped around by the boyfriend in the car and etc. That is what you call generational trauma. That trauma right there, unresolved, is how you can manifest impatience. Your child is trying to talk to you, you don't got time for it. You're being harsh. You're being emotionally distant because you don't want to talk about these scary things. You don't want to talk about these things because you never knew how to talk about it. Nobody wanted to have tough conversations with you. Okay? And this affects the mother-child bond because now you have this emotional distance, you have this mistrust, you have this confusion. You don't know what is right or what is wrong. You want a healthy relationship, but you've never seen it. And on top of that, you never found a safe space to communicate your feelings on what you saw, what you experienced, and what you felt. So this is why we have to end these cycles of generational trauma. Whether it's abuse, whether it's lying and cheating, Oh, well, my daddy, he was a liar and he cheated on my mom. And so, my husband, he did it just one time. He said he wasn't going to do it no more. That's generational trauma, baby. Moving forward, let's unlearn that, please. Just, okay. So, number 8, negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom: gossiping or complaining in front of children. I'm going to tell y'all this, but y'all probably ain't going to stop. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about it. Gossiping or complaining in front of children can teach children unhealthy communication patterns and impact how they view relationships. First of all, we shouldn't be gossiping. First of all, you need to stop talking about that lady on the front row in the church. First of all, you need to stop coming home and talking about your coworker and what she did and who she thinks she is. That is not cute. And that is literally, I feel like, the only way of communication Black women have with one another, especially these Black women who are supposed to be our elders, we're supposed to be looking up to and admiring. Listen, Linda, the gossiping is not productive. And I feel like it's truly rooted in insecurity, because why are we putting down our brother and sisters with our words? Why are we trying to pick them apart? And like, if you have a fault with your brother or your sister, you go to them. And this is why it says gossiping impacts healthy communication. If I have a problem with my sister, if I have a problem with my best friend, I'm not going to go to my other friend and be like, who she thinks she is, why she thinks she going to say that to me. What is that solving? That's not solving anything. Go to your sister. Learn how to have hard conversations. Hey, this might be a little tough to hear. I know it's hard for me to say, but I just want to let you know, when you said this, it made me feel like this. And then on the other end, be willing to listen. You don't have all the answers. I don't care how old or how young you are. I don't care how much money you made or how long you've been married. The moment you feel like you got it all figured out is the moment where you just tell God you good on learning. Like, nobody has reached God's status in this world. I don't care what you have obtained. I don't care what you have done. Because if we take a deeper look into your life, it ain't perfect. It ain't. So, opening your mind to understanding how these traits that we have adapted, because all of it is rooted in fear and insecurity, it's not working for us anymore as people. It's setting us back. It's making us feel like our sister is our competitor. It's making us feel like our mother or our daughter is our competitor. Like, no. Number 2, negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom: minimizing mental health issues. Mental health struggles are sometimes dismissed or ignored, discouraging children from seeking help or understanding their emotions. Let's talk about it, church, because that's where it started at. Now, the pastor, he is right. Jesus Christ, okay? You need to tap in with him. However, on the other side of things, let's break it down. When you on your bicycle and you broke your leg, you just didn't sit there on that road and say, Jesus Christ, fix my leg. You called 911. The ambulance came. They did the surgery and they reconstructed the leg. And in a few months, you was healed in Jesus' name. Okay, so yes, Jesus, he is a savior. However, scientifically, there are some things and some approaches that assist with healing a wound. Now, show this video to your pastor. Let him call me and we'll discuss it. Okay? We'll discuss it in a heavenly place. Because I feel like within our community, the reason why now people are trying to boldly come forward, I'm in therapy. Congratulations, Black man. I'm happy you're in therapy. But people have been in therapy for a while and has truly transformed their perspective on life. Now, the fact that we're finally catching up, praise him, won't he do it? But this is something that we should have been implementing, because Jesus gives us tools. Yes, the Bible is a tool, but your nurse, the doctor, that's a tool to assist you with your broken leg. The certified therapists and mental health specialists who went to school and studied psychology for years on out and understanding the mind, that is a tool, that is a resource to help us. So when your child is coming to you and they're saying, I'm anxious, I'm this, I'm those things, it's not, yes, it probably is a spirit. Now, let's not play with it. But there are also steps to take outside of prayer. We need to be praying. Pray for your children. Let them come to you and express what it is they're feeling within their mind and what's taking place. But don't limit them to just feeling like Jesus gonna do it. Jesus is gonna do it, but Jesus also gives you the tools and the resources to better understand what's going on within you. Sometimes that's probably bullying. Your child is probably being bullied at school. Your child probably done seen some things, and they need an expert to help them understand what they just saw. School shootings. Yes, Jesus gonna do it, but if your child was in the classroom with a child that got shot in the face, why not let them go see a mental health therapist? Because Jesus gonna do it. Let me move forward. Y'all, I be getting so passionate. I get so passionate about this because I just don't be understanding sometimes. Like, I feel like we do this to ourselves as a community. Like, I get all the things, y'all, with all the things we done seen in this America with the things of the white and black issue. But y'all, we have got to wake up out of this white and black. Woe is me. I'm in bondage because my grandfather was. We have to wake up. The time is now to start seeing things what they truly are. We are free people. We've been free. Okay? Yes, we may have had a moment of bondage, but do not allow something that happened centuries ago to remain so prevalent in your bloodline where we are not having beautiful experiences. We don't have harmony within our family dynamics. Family is so important, baby. It starts at home. The lack of harmony, the lack of peace within our homes is not cool. It's not okay. And it's not something that we should take lightly or as a joke, like it is. You know how they is. No, that's how you are. That's how your family is, because you guys are stuck in a place of bondage with your way of thinking, with your way of perceiving, with your parenting styles, with your ability to communicate. Then you have these other families out here who are having moments maybe of conflict, but it doesn't disrupt the whole family. They know how to talk through it. They know how to work through it. They know how to understand one another. Lastly, negative traits to unlearn as a Black mom. Sacrifice and self-care. Black moms often prioritize their children to the point of neglecting their own needs, which can lead to burnout and emotional unavailability. Going back to the first point. Ooh, let me do it. Ooh, y'all sweating because I'm passionate. I'm sorry. But won't he do it? Well, he'll take it back to the beginning. Okay, baby, stop it. If you're a single mom watching this, whoever you are watching this, God bless you and your children. But you are a woman before you are a mother. Don't argue with me about it. You are a woman before you are a mother. So that means you need to take time for yourself to fill up your cup so you can show up as the best version of yourself to your children. Period. Like, that's how it go. That's literally, put your mask on first, your oxygen mask on first, then help the person next to you, baby. Okay? So prioritize yourself. Your children will be okay. This will also teach your children how to prioritize their own selves. Yes, we're here to serve one another, and yes, we're here to give. This is not what I'm saying. But I am not trying to take away from the fact that we should give of ourselves so much and empty our cups so much that we don't never take time for ourselves. And since this is primarily focused on the Black community, and the Black community has, the Black church notion around us, we like to bring up things, well, you need to serve, you got to serve and serve and serve and serve. Y'all, even Jesus stepped away from his disciples. Jesus had 12 buddies. And even sometimes Jesus had to say, okay, y'all, I'm about to go for a walk. Leave me alone. Go for a walk, baby. You don't need to bring your kids on this walk. Go for a walk with yourself. Go let them kids hang out with their daddy. Or create opportunities where, if you don't have that village, if you don't have that support, create moments for yourself where you can take moments with yourself. Share that with your children. Mommy needs some time for herself right now. It's important that I take time for myself so I can continue to be the best mommy for you. They're not going to be mad at you. If anything, they're like, wow, that's so cool. Like, I rest my case. I rest my case because it's 40 minutes long and I need to stop talking because I want you guys to not click off the video because they're so long, but they're also so good. And I just feel like, listen, at the end of the day, you either want to know about it or you don't. So I hope that this was very educational and informative. Now, I know I am very theatrical and I just, on YouTube, I'm just me. This is not professional Tori with all the things and the things, okay? This is me and I'm going to say how I feel in the most tasteful way. But I am very passionate about this topic because, like I said, family is so important. Legacy, generations of wealth, and all the beautiful things, that is the most important. Not the car, not the promotion. Your family is the most important thing. So to learn, to teach yourself how to nurture your family dynamics, how to grow a family where you guys are unshakable, you guys are united, and not united in drama, but united in love, respect for one another. Okay. Can I get an amen out there? Okay. As a parent, understanding that respect goes both ways. Your child is also a human being, not your rag doll. Okay. So, this is why I'm so passionate about this, because I've seen some things, I've experienced some things. I'm like, listen, that ain't gonna work for me and it ain't gonna work for us. So, this is what we're gonna do. We're going to stop it. And we're going to learn the right thing to do. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. This is the Black Women and Femininity series. However, we did a spin on it. And we're talking about the Black moms today because they're very unique. Okay. And yes,